Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah,
I love you.
I love you too.
There's an expression that goes like this: the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And what is this in reference to? Well, it's in reference to Janice Combs, Diddy's mother. According to Cassie Ventura, Janice Combs would keep a jar of Diddy's kids in the refrigerator, and when she would make mac and cheese, she would drizzle some on top of it and force them to eat it. That's what Cassie Ventura said, allegedly. Not only that, one of Diddy's childhood friends allegedly claims that Janice Combs would have freak-off parties of her own while Diddy watched, explaining his behavior. And now I'm going to show you a video which maybe makes me believe that it may be true. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, my mom's gorgeous. Hold on, let me introduce you to my mom. Call Mom Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Mom?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah,
I love you.
love you too.
That's just not normal. And after seeing that, well, I'm thinking it may be accurate. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. There's the tree, and there's the apple.
You heard about how Diddy mom came out defending him? She made a comment saying that Diddy is not a monster.
Yeah, he not a monster. She is. But I don't want to go there. But she is. She's the fucking monster. Everything in her fucking name. She's the monster. She created that, and y'all gonna see on that Netflix. Y'all just check it out.
First of all, that's his mother. Wrong, right, or indifferent, she gonna lie, steal, kill, and protect her child. That's what she's supposed to do. But the apple don't fall far from the tree, man. You gotta realize that. You know, he didn't get all this from his daddy, because he didn't know his daddy, even though they try to say his daddy was some big time drug dealer in the whole 9 yards. You understand? He didn't get this from his daddy. You gotta realize, man, you know, his mother had a modeling agency, and it was alleged that it was also ladies of the night. Kirk Burroughs, the president at the time, a bad boy, told me that he smacked his mother. I remember we was in the car. It was me, Puff, and his mother got in the car with us. His mother got in the car, he was on the phone, and then he said to his mother, "Yo, didn't I tell you to stay out my MF business?" Yo, I want to snatch the shadow off him. I said, "Boy, who you talking to?" I said, "Boy, if you ever talk to your mama like that again around me, I'm gonna beat the shit out you." "But Gene, I told her to stay out of business." Let me just say this to you right now. If she wasn't for her, you wouldn't have no business. And Miss Combs sit there and quiet as a church mouse. And he ain't say nothing. He ain't say a word, because he knew I was serious. I wasn't playing with him.
Everything changed the moment her name was read aloud in the courtroom. For years, Janice Combs, the mother of Sean Diddy Combs, was seen as a graceful matriarch, someone who smiled politely beside her son on red carpets, cheered him on at award shows, and served as his moral compass during the most controversial moments of his career. But now the world is seeing a different picture, a darker, more complicated truth. As the trial against Diddy intensified, the courtroom was packed with journalists, lawyers, and observers awaiting the next bombshell. No one expected it to come in the form of his mother, but when the prosecution announced that Janice Combs had been subpoenaed, everything fell into chaos. Diddy froze, his attorneys exchanged stunned looks, and the public, they erupted. This wasn't just another witness. This was the woman who raised him, the person he once called the reason behind everything. And now she wasn't just part of the story, she might be the key to unlocking all of it. According to multiple sources and court documents, Janice Combs wasn't just a silent observer. She was deeply embedded in the machine that powered Diddy's hidden empire. Behind the scenes, she played a role that went far beyond the duties of a concerned parent. She wasn't just in the room, she was allegedly helping run it. Federal investigators revealed a disturbing pattern: bank statements, handwritten ledgers, email correspondence, eyewitness testimony. It all pointed in the same direction. Janice knew more than she ever let on. Let's backtrack. Before Diddy was a music mogul and a global brand, he was a boy raised in Harlem by a single mother. His father died when he was young, and Janice Combs took the lead, raising him on her own. She worked hard, built a career in modeling, and eventually started her own agency. It wasn't just words. The court now has evidence. A small black book labeled Nightly Flow, found during a federal raid of Diddy's mansion. Inside, the book listed guest schedules, entry points, staff rotations, catering deliveries, and emergency exit routes. But the true turning point came when a witness, known only as Witness X, took the stand. "I was 21, she began, voice trembling. "I thought I was going to a modeling audition in Miami. When I arrived, a woman in a white suit greeted me and told me to smile and followed the lights." That woman was Janice Combs. The courtroom fell silent. Witness X described an experience that didn't match any legitimate modeling call. She spoke of rooms with security at every door, of guests being escorted through controlled checkpoints, and of a schedule that felt less like a party and more like a scripted production. And throughout it all, Janice was there, calm, smiling, reassuring. "I tried to leave twice," she testified, "but she found me and told me I'd ruin my chances if I walked out. She said, 'This is how stars are made. Don't mess it up.' The moment was so emotional that 3 jurors were visibly shaken. One reportedly wiped away tears. The judge called for a break. Diddy stared at the floor, and Janice, she wasn't in the room, but her presence was felt everywhere. What followed was a public reaction unlike anything the court had seen before. Overnight, a short video leaked, grainy footage from one of Diddy's infamous private events. In the corner of the frame stood Janice Combs, smiling, holding a clipboard, standing beside a security officer. The video went viral in minutes. Mama Combs began trending, not for admiration, but outrage. Talk shows, news anchors, and even former collaborators of Diddy began speaking out. Homeland Security confirmed that Janice's bank records, property files, and digital communications were now officially under review, spanning the last 15 years. Her name, once reserved for red carpets and award ceremonies, was now part of an active federal investigation. Prosecutors say this isn't just a case of someone turning a blind eye. This is about calculated involvement, an organized system of control where Janice played a role in making things appear safe, controlled, harmless. One whistleblower said it best: "Janice gave the illusion of safety. If the mom is smiling, how dangerous can it really be?" And that illusion is what allegedly allowed this empire to continue unchecked for so long. Former staffers painted a disturbing picture. Janice, they say, oversaw the locker room at events where guests were required to store their phones and belongings. She held the clipboard. She checked the list. And if your name wasn't on it, you didn't get your phone back. Homeland Security confirmed that Janice's bank records, property files, and digital communications were now officially under review, spanning the last 15 years. Her name, once reserved for red carpets and award ceremonies, was now part of an active federal investigation. Prosecutors say this isn't just a case of someone turning a blind eye. This is about calculated involvement, an organized system of control where Janice played a role in making things appear safe, controlled, harmless. One whistleblower said it best: "Janice gave the illusion of safety. If the mom is smiling, how dangerous can it really be?" And that illusion is what allegedly allowed this empire to continue unchecked for so long. Former staffers painted a disturbing picture. Janice, they say, oversaw the locker room at events where guests were required to store their phones and belongings. She held the clipboard. She checked the list. And if your name wasn't on it, you didn't get your phone back. Wire transfers, calendar invites, voice messages, guest lists with her initials. This wasn't a passive observer. This was someone who, according to multiple sources, helped protect and preserve Diddy's image by keeping the operations running behind the scenes. Now, with indictments looming and courtrooms packed, the public is left asking one thing: how deep does this go? If Diddy is the face of the scandal, then is Janice Combs the foundation? The answer may come soon enough. Federal agents have reportedly prepared a separate case file focused entirely on her role. And while Diddy's defense team scrambles to contain the damage, it's becoming harder to hide from the truth. Because when the cameras shut off, when the red carpets are rolled up, and when the media frenzy fades, what's left is evidence, testimony, documentation, and a growing consensus that this wasn't just about one man, it was about a network, a system, and a silence that stretched for years. In the end, what shocks the public the most isn't just that Diddy may have crossed the line. It's that his mother might have helped draw it. And when that final moment came, when her name was officially introduced in court, Janice Combs wasn't poised and composed. According to sources inside the courtroom, she stood up, eyes wide, face pale, and walked out. No words, no explanation, just silence. But silence won't save her now, because the truth is out and the truth has receipts.